Hello and welcome back. I am in the middle of doing some of my scheduling stuff, and I thought that I'd make a video on scheduling because I know when I started and I had more flexibility in my schedule, I wondered, like, how much do people book in a day and how do you set it up and this and that? Because when I worked at nonprofits or like community-based things, it was like, okay, this is your work schedule. You come here 9 to 5, you meet with your clients, or 10 to 6 or 8 to 4, whatever. And there's a certain amount of clients that you have to book, but then you're in meetings and you just have a regular flow of a day. Then you become a licensed therapist, and if you're in private practice or group practice, you have flexibility. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do? And at first I thought, well, if I can work 8 hours at a regular job, like I should just work 8 hours of sessions. No, it doesn't work that way, right? Because when I would work in an office or a nonprofit agency, yes, I'd be there for 8 hours. But it would be like, okay, I get there, I settle down into my office or at my desk, I go through emails, maybe some of my coworkers come in, we talk, I meet with somebody, but then, maybe I make phone calls and I have meetings and whatever, right? When you are in private practice, you don't have all of that stuff. So if you're working for 8 hours, that means that you're in session 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, right? And you're just like working. And it takes a lot more energy out of you because you're sitting there doing exactly this. You are locked in conversation with people for an hour or 50 to 53 minutes, depending on how you set it up. Point is, it's much different when you're just doing direct therapy, because then you're sitting there and you're like, no, I'm locked in. I don't get to just get up and take a break. I don't get to go to run to the bathroom. Nothing, because I'm sitting with you. I'm having direct conversation, so I have to be here for this period of time. So for me, the first thing I would say is I've learned that people are very different. Okay, I have some people who say, I will not book more than 4 clients in a day. I don't want to book more than that. I get drained. I can only talk and listen for so many hours. That's fine. I'd say the average of what I've heard is people booking 6 clients. They have 3 in the morning, they take an hour break or whatever, and then they have 3 in the afternoon. To me, I think that's what most people book that I've heard, or like people that I've talked to, coworkers, friends. I book a little bit more. I don't know why, but for some reason, I could just seem to keep going without feeling distracted or bored or tired. But the point is, you have to know yourself. If you start booking, let's say you have 8 clients in a day. If you start realizing by your 6th client that you kind of tap out, that's not fair to your other clients. Your 7th and your 8th client, it's not fair to them. So for example, at my last group practice, the requirements were they were crazy and out of control. I'm just going to be upfront. That's why I'm not there anymore. It was just way too much. I would have 4 clients in the morning, take an hour break, and have 4 clients in the afternoon. I was able to do it, but it wasn't ideal. I was able to give to my clients, but once I was done, I wasn't able to give to anybody in my personal life. Like, I'd be done with sessions. I didn't want to talk on the phone. I didn't want to interact with people. I felt burnt out. So yes, I was able to maintain it in my regular day-to-day with my clients, but then after that, I was shot. What I have found that works for me, I think 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon is ideal, or I can do 3 in the morning and then 4 in the afternoon. I am not a morning person. I know this about myself. So getting up and doing 4 sessions back to back, I'm tapped out, I'm drained, mostly because I'm not fully functioning in the morning. I don't drink coffee, so I don't like get up and do my whole coffee routine and get my caffeine going and all of that, although I do drink tea, so sometimes I have caffeine. Point is, I know myself. I need a slower morning. So I'm best when I have 3 clients in the morning, a break, and then 4 clients in the afternoon. Because once afternoon hits, I'm good. Like, I'm ready to go. I love the afternoon, evening, and nighttime. Like, I'm one of those people, when I was in college, I could be writing a paper and I'll start at like 10 o'clock at night because I know I'm productive when it comes to nighttime. So I could do 3 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. 4 right off the bat, it's too much for me. Now, I know people who are morning people and they start their sessions at like 7 a.m. because if somebody has to go to work at 9, they're like, all right, let's meet at 7 before work. Hey, cool, fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not me. And probably never going to be me. The earliest I've done is 8 o'clock appointments. I, in my head, thought, well, if I start at 8, I get out an hour earlier, which is true. But I am not the happiest person at 8 in the morning. So I've transitioned out of any 8 o'clock appointments because I know that that's not me. I don't feel that great when I do that. Not only pay attention to how many you could do in a day, but pay attention to when you feel the best in the day. If you're a morning person and you get up at 5 o'clock and you're wide awake and you love it, start at 7. Be done at 2, be done at 1, be done at 12, however you set it up, right? You have to find what works for you. So I can't give you a direct answer. I could just say it depends. At my last private practice, there was somebody who had a schedule. I could not understand it. They had 3 clients and then an hour break, another 3 clients, and then an hour break, and then another 3. They saw 9 clients a day. I can't do it. It's not for me. Maybe in some type of emergency situation, if I had a lot of people who were like going on vacation and they needed to reschedule, I mean, maybe once I can get through that, every once in a while, 9 clients a day, but that being my regular schedule, absolutely not. So what does all of this mean? All of this means is, number one, when you have your own private practice, you are in control of your hours. So if you start something and it seems like it's not really working, it's okay to adjust. If you, for example, if you have 8 o'clock clients and you're like, this sucks. Well, you know what? If it works with those clients, that's fine. And then when they transition out, don't leave that spot open for somebody else to take. Stop doing 8 o'clock appointments, right? Or you could talk to your clients if it's really important for you to switch. You could say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be available at 8 o'clock. It's becoming very difficult for me. Are there other times that work for you? If they say absolutely not, there's no other time, then maybe you're going to have to stay at that 8 o'clock depending on what your situation is. But they might say, oh yeah, like, that's fine. On Fridays, I work later, and so I could just meet with you on Fridays at 9 or 10, whatever. Point is, yes, it's all about the clients, but at the same time, it's about you because you're providing a service and you need to be able to provide the best services. So if you're not doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and make yourself be in a good headspace for session, you're not going to help the clients. So if you're setting up a private practice or you're in a group practice, I really encourage you to just focus on yourself and what works for you. What works for somebody else might not work for you. If you want to give it a go, give it a go. If it doesn't work, adjust, adapt, figure it out. One of the beauties of private practice is that you have more flexibility. Take advantage of it. If you need a good work-life balance, you have something you want to do in the middle of the day, go and do it. As long as you're being responsible and making up for it somewhere else, there's nothing wrong with that. I hope that this was helpful. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you have suggestions, what works for you, what you've noticed, your experience, add that as well because we can all learn from each other. Thank you for your time, and I will see you soon.